Theory problems on oblique incidence of a plane wave over the surface of a perfect conductor. Series on electromagnetic field theory, lecture number 4.41. When a plane wave falls over the conductor surface, reflection happens without any refraction, as wave cannot exist inside a conductor. If the incidence is normal, reflection is also normal. If the incidence is oblique, reflection is also oblique, obeying Snell's laws of reflection. In the present session, our focus is on oblique incidence of a plane wave over the surface of a perfect conductor. First, we consider parallel polarized wave, then we consider perpendicular polarized plane wave. Before going to the actual problems, let us have some understanding regarding the steps we follow while solving the problems. Usually, a field component is given. Field component pertaining to the incident wave is given. It may be electric field or it may be magnetic field. If electric field is given, we are asked to find out magnetic field in the incident wave as well as electric and magnetic fields in the reflected wave. If magnetic field is given, we are asked to find out electric field in the incident wave and electric and magnetic fields in the reflected wave. In addition to one field component of the incident wave, medium constants epsilon 1 and mu 1. It is the medium in which incident wave is existing. These constants are also given. From the expression of E, electric field, let us suppose electric field is given. From the expression of E, one can find out direction of electric field. E I cap is unit vector along electric vector of the incident wave. EI is amplitude of the electric field in the incident wave. Beta I cap is unit vector along direction of propagation of the wave. Beta I is magnitude of propagation vector of the wave. Theta 1 is angle of incidence. And also from EI, one can find the polarization, whether the incident wave is parallelly polarized or perpendicularly polarized. With this information, we are asked to find out electric and magnetic vectors in the reflected wave and also other field vector of the incident wave. Note before going further, Snell's law says angle of incidence is angle of reflection. So now we know angle of reflection also. Once theta is known, implies we know angle of reflection. Now, in the reflected wave, direction of wave propagation, it is denoted by beta r cap. It can be obtained from beta I cap. Beta I cap is already known to us. From beta I cap, beta r cap can be obtained by simply reversing or changing the sign of normal component. It is vector. Beta I cap is a vector. It will be having certain components. One component normal to plane surface, which is a reflecting surface. That component sign has to be changed in beta I. Then after that, it represents beta r cap or unit vector along the direction of reflected wave. Beta r, it is magnitude of propagation vector in the reflected wave. It is equal to beta I, magnitude of propagation vector of the incident wave, because both the waves are in the same medium. Beta I or beta r, they pertain to same medium. Now, if the wave is perpendicularly polarized one, then ER cap, it can be obtained from minus EI cap. EI cap is known to us. EI cap is unit vector along the direction of electric field in the incident wave. Minus gives ER cap. Amplitude of ERI is EI. Direction of magnetic field in the reflected wave, it is obtained by crossing BR cap with ER cap. So this is unit vector of magnetic field in the reflected wave. Its amplitude can be obtained 1 by eta 1 multiplied by ER. If the wave is parallel polarized one, incident wave is parallel polarized one, then HR, direction of magnetic field in the reflected wave, it is equal to direction of magnetic field in the incident wave. Amplitude also, they are same. Amplitude of magnetic vector in the reflected wave is same as magnitude of H vector in the incident wave, and ER cap, direction of electric vector in the reflected wave, it is obtained by crossing HR cap with beta R cap and amplitude of ER, electric vector in the reflected wave by multiplying eta 1 with HR. So these are the steps usually that are followed in solving the problems. Now we consider a problem. This is oblique incidence, wave oblique incidence, and incident wave is parallelly polarized. Consider a uniform plane wave traveling in free space falling over a conducting plane located at y equal to 0. The electric field vector in the incident wave is given by this expression. Here electric field is given. Find the magnetic vector in the incident wave, electric and magnetic vectors in the reflected wave. Incidence and reflection of the wave in the given example, they are shown in the figure, and by mere looking at the expression, one can say it is a case of parallel polarization. Electric vector is parallel to plane of incidence. Now, incident wave. Unit vector along incident wave direction is from this. Beta I cap, one can find square root of 3x cap plus 3y cap divided by square root of 3 plus 9. It gives certain expression for beta I cap. Unit vector along electric field from this. Root 3x cap minus y cap by square root of 3 plus 1. You will be getting certain expression. This is unit vector. Both are unit vectors. Unit vector along magnetic field is cross product of unit vectors along propagation direction and electric field. H direction of propagation, they form a right-handed vector system. Using that principle, here direction of magnetic vector is found. So beta I cap is available, E I cap is available. Cross product results in a vector, it is simple one, minus z cap. Electric to magnetic field ratio is 125, that is eta. Amplitude of incident electric field is 60 pi root of 3 plus 1, it is 125. Thus, magnetic field in incident wave, it can be found very easily from the fact that E by H is eta. So H is E by eta. Eta is 125. So in this way, HI can be obtained. HI is magnetic field vector in the incident wave. Now, reflected wave. As only y component of propagation gets reversed, the unit vector along reflected wave is this one. As already mentioned in the beginning, reflected wave propagation unit vector is obtained by reversing the component of the incident propagation wave unit vector component that is normal to plane surface or reflecting surface. Okay, using that we have beta r cap. As only parallel component, x component gets reversed, unit vector along electric vector in the reflected wave is this one. So tangential component of electric field undergoes phase reversal at the surface of a perfect conductor. That particular principle is implemented here, used here to find ER cap. Thus, electric vector in the reflected wave is so. Beta r is known, ER is known, so within no time one can find out. Unit vector along magnetic field is cross product of unit vectors along propagation direction and electric field. So HR cap is BR cap cross ER cap. So you have minus z cap. Amplitude of reflected electric field is 60 pi square root of 3 plus 1, 125, and hence magnetic field in the reflected wave is HR. See, ER by HR. EI by HI is eta. Similarly, ER by HR also eta. Eta is 125 because both the waves are in the same medium. So eta pertains to medium. So it remains the same 125. Here also ratio is same. Now we consider another problem. This problem pertains to a wave oblique incidence with perpendicular polarization. Consider a uniform plane wave traveling in free space falling over a conducting plane at y equal to 0. The magnetic field vector in the incident wave is this one. It is given this way. Find electric vector in incident wave, electric and magnetic vectors in the reflected wave. This is the case of perpendicular polarization. One can sketch this wave. It appears like this. You can see here electric vector is perpendicular to plane of incidence. Magnetic field is parallel, but electric field is perpendicular. Therefore, it is a case of perpendicular polarization. Previous problem is parallel polarized wave incidence, whereas now it is perpendicular polarization. Now, We consider first electric vector in the incident wave. This task we undertake. First incident wave. Unit vector along incident wave direction is beta I cap is from here, from this expression. We can obtain beta I cap. Unit vector along magnetic field here, from this small expression, we can obtain Hi cap. Unit vector along electric vector is cross product of unit vectors along magnetic vector and propagation direction. We all know E, H, beta, they form a right-handed vector system. Right. So EI, this is unit vector, we got Z cap. Now electric to magnetic field ratio is 120 pi. This 120 pi has come into being because incident wave, reflected wave both are in free space. Incident wave is in free space eta is 120 pi. Therefore electric to magnetic field ratio is 120 pi. Amplitude of incident magnetic field is square root of 3 plus 1 by 120 pi, 1 by 60 pi, and hence electric field in the incident wave becomes this one. Using that, one can find out Hi, Ei, E by H is eta. I want E, therefore H into eta gives E. Using that principle, electric field is found. Now we consider reflected wave. The unit vector along reflected wave direction is this one. How this thing has come? By simply reversing the normal component in the incident wave's propagation vector, this beta R cap is obtained. As Z direction is parallel to surface, Z component of electric field gets reversed in the reflected wave. What is this? Parallel component or tangential component of electric field gets reversed upon reflection from the surface of a perfect conductor. Using that principle, we have to, if you implement this, we got ER equal to minus 2Z cap cos omega t minus 0.05 pi square root of 3x minus 3y millivolts per meter. Unit vector along magnetic field is cross product of unit vectors along propagation direction and electric vector. Of course, HR is beta R cross ER. Unit vectors. Here we considered unit vectors. Cap indicates unit vectors. So HR cap is, it can be obtained easily. Now amplitude of reflected electric field is 2, and hence magnetic field in the reflected wave is this one. These are some of the problems that are set around oblique incidence of a wave over a conductor surface. Two problems are considered. One problem pertains to parallel polarization, another problem pertains to perpendicular polarization. Enough for now.